video, watch how Jay-Z quickly turned around when P. Diddy greeted Beyonce with a touch on her shoulder. Jay-Z came out of nowhere. This was at the Roc Nation brunch back in 2018.
Go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
Out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy?
It's beyond reproach to you, you're worshiping her. When y'all put these people on these pedestals and not recognizing the worship that you're giving them, it sets you up for problems in the future. It is not white versus black, y'all. It is rich versus poor.
50 Cent is absolutely relentless in his war against the Carters. He's shouting, if you thought Diddy's Fed files were bad, wait until you see the evidence against his partner Jay-Z. It's not just Hova taking heat, though. Beyonce's reputation is on the line, and these claims are terrifying. Did Queen Bey actually witness the madness behind closed doors? Is a RICO case coming to take down Roc Nation? Now, the world is demanding answers. How deep does this rabbit hole go? And what is 50 really implying about Beyonce's role in Diddy's criminal world? He was allegedly forced to wear a mask. The suit claims Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were right there, and after seeing Manzaro, Beyonce supposedly asked, "What is this? What is going on? Why is a half-naked white man in a mask standing before me?" You know 50 and Jay have traded shots for decades. This isn't new, but 50 is moving way more aggressively now that Diddy is behind bars and his docuseries is burning everything down. He's acting like he holds nuclear receipts regarding the Carters' links to Diddy's alleged crimes. Make no mistake, this Diddy documentary isn't some random project 50 threw together. This man has plotted this takedown for 20 years. If you followed 50 back in the day, he despised Diddy. He consistently trashed both Diddy and Jay-Z at every opportunity. Look at the timing. 50 released the Diddy series just 48 hours before Jay-Z's birthday. That is professional-grade pettiness. Many who watch the series are convinced that Jay-Z is far from innocent. Actually, people feel like we've barely scratched the surface of his dark secrets. One user on X posted, "I know his downfall is coming. He's probably much more dangerous than Diddy." Another person commented, "I felt the exact same way watching the documentary. He is cut from the same cloth." Beyonce has stayed silent for decades. He is clearly way more menacing. His day of reckoning is approaching. Just when the Carters thought they were dodging Diddy's legal storm, 50 reminded the public about that lawsuit from a man who says he was drugged and assaulted at a Diddy party. The headline-grabbing part? The victim claims Beyonce locked eyes with him just before the horror started. Per court papers obtained by People, the accuser, Joseph Manzaro, says his drink was spiked before being moved to Star Island in Miami for Christian Combs' birthday in April 2015. Manzaro claims the ordeal began at a property then owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan. According to him, Gloria saw he was unwell and wanted an ambulance, but Emilio allegedly blocked that immediately. He also claims he ran into LeBron James, who reportedly said, "You guys better handle that." From there, the suit says he was dragged through a secret tunnel to Diddy's mansion by ex-porn star Audria English, also named in the case. Manzaro says when he regained consciousness, he found himself in a room with Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's when Beyonce supposedly asked why a half-naked man was standing there with a device on his face. According to Manzaro, a voice in the room replied that it was a penalty and that Diddy wanted him to see how they punish rats. But the suit gets even darker. It alleges Diddy ordered Manzaro to be humiliated for guests, eventually being stripped, forced into a thong, and having a leather mask with a rubber gag locked onto his head. The lawsuit claims a locking device was attached to the mask, protruding from his mouth. The victim was then put through dehumanizing acts. In the filing, Manzaro called the event a freak-off. Now, this is where it gets incredibly fishy for the Carters. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, moved fast to kill the story, claiming Jay wasn't even in Florida during the incident. But here's what's making everyone suspicious. Spiro only cleared Jay. He didn't mention Beyonce once. If you think that's insane, wait until you hear what former NFL star Larry Johnson said about an alleged party involving the Carters. Johnson claims that in the early 2000s, he attended a late-night rap bash hosted by the Carters in Colorado. He alleges there were people there who looked underage, and that Beyonce allegedly made a comment that left him feeling completely disturbed.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming.
Now, if you are truly wondering how Larry Johnson would even possess this kind of inside knowledge, you have to remember that he and Jay-Z were actually incredibly close at one point in time. Then, suddenly and out of nowhere, Jay-Z cut him off entirely and went completely silent. And the word on the street is that this massive fallout occurred right after Larry started broadcasting some very controversial and dark theories across the internet. But there's still a massive amount of receipts and photos showing that Larry Johnson and Jay-Z were basically inseparable back in the day. They were so close, in fact, that some industry insiders were even speculating they might have been much more than just casual friends. But this is a classic Jay-Z maneuver. He has this cold habit of ghosting his friends and then completely flipping the script on everyone, acting like he never even knew those people in the first place. Remember when his name got dragged into that massive lawsuit from Jane Doe and his high-powered lawyer, Alex Spiro, rushed out to publicly claim there was absolutely no real friendship between Jay and Diddy?
In a new interview with NBC, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro spoke about the relationship between the two moguls. From images of them together at many events to how they highly spoke about each other, one may think that a close bond exists between Jay and Puff. However, according to Spiro, the two have never shared a real friendship or long-time.
But even though Jane Doe's specific claims about Jay-Z were ultimately dismissed by the court, there is absolutely no way he can seriously deny that he and Diddy were extremely close for decades. Unless Jay-Z's personal definition of friendship is totally different from the way the rest of the world sees it. I mean, let's be real here for a second. Nothing about this story is adding up. Diddy straight up referred to Jay-Z as his extended family and openly stated in interviews that Jay was his main strategist, the very first guy he calls whenever major trouble hits. So, yeah, that is definitely a deep friendship, no matter how hard Jay-Z tries to spin the narrative to protect his brand.
And this is the extended family. You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This is my brother. It's B.I.G.'s brother.
Yes, sir.
It's Brooklyn's own Brooklyn! So I appreciate you. He came 5,000 miles away to come here to Brooklyn to represent the B.I.G. Make some noise for home.
And let us definitely not forget that infamous and telling clip where Diddy revealed Jay-Z actually skipped his own daughter Blue Ivy's school recital just so he could headline the Bad Boy 20th anniversary show.
Title that he has to be at the Blue. But we reached out to him, and I told him that this right here was important. Bad Boy celebrating 20 years of hits.
So Jay-Z is out here telling the world that him and Diddy were never actually friends and weren't that close. Meanwhile, he literally skipped a huge, precious, and once-in-a-lifetime moment in his daughter's young life just to perform on stage for Diddy, but somehow you do not consider him your close friend? It just doesn't make any sense. And of course, 50 Cent was never going to let a slip-up like that slide by. Just one single day after Diddy's luxury homes got raided by the feds last year, 50 Cent posted a picture of Jay-Z on a milk carton, basically implying to the world, Jay-Z went MIA for a very specific reason. 50 wrote in the caption, "Has anybody seen Jay? LOL." Puff said, "He isn't answering his phone. LOL." He also shared this photo of Jay-Z waving on the red carpet and wrote, "Here is Jay-Z, last reported seen waving at Puffy's private jet, LOL." And then 50's ride or die companion, Tony Yayo, jumped into the mix during a Vlad TV interview, calling out exactly how fast Jay-Z is trying to rewrite history and acting like he and Diddy were never really close when everyone knows the truth.
Now Jay is saying, yo, this not my man, which is kind of weird.
Right. They're saying
y'all
they
you see him at mad parties together, but look at it, right? Really think about it. Diddy only go to them, to what's that? He have his brunch, he be having, right?
The Rock Nation brunch.
Diddy go to that. You
Yeah.
see Diddy go to that.
Yeah.
And Jay, and then Diddy will have an all-white party and Jay go to that.
Jay goes to that.
So it's like the same parties they go to.
But do not sleep on Beyonce in this situation either, because her name is coming up more and more. Remember when the rapper DaBaby mentioned that the very first time he ever met her was actually inside Diddy's house.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020.
There is also a mountain of evidence showing Beyonce attending Diddy's wild parties over the years, plus videos of Diddy himself talking about just how tight he was with Beyonce and her entire family. In fact, when Jay-Z and Beyonce welcomed their twins back in 2017, Diddy called it a massive, legendary moment for their inner circle. Like he was not just a random guest on the list. He was practically treated as a member of the family in his own eyes and in the eyes of the industry.
All over the world, people have been talking. I don't know if the twins, Beyonce and Jay.
Yeah.
I know that you are pretty close to them.
Yes.
I wonder, have you been able to reach out? Have you been able to say anything to them?
Definitely. It's a big moment for like our whole crew, our whole industry.
But what do you actually think about all this madness and these shocking allegations? Does Beyonce know way more about Diddy's dirty mess than she is currently admitting to the public? Was she just an innocent bystander caught in the middle, or was she actually involved in something shady that has yet to be exposed to the world? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below right now, and make sure you do not miss this next video because it gets even deeper.